Hi, this is Jody Colegrove with Quantum Techniques. We've developed a proven technique to quickly determine the root cause of your health issue using a form of energy medicine. I work with people all on the phone, all over the world, helping them determine why they're having a health issue and what they can do about it. So today I wanted to kind of talk about a series about how to eat healthy and metabolism. So this is kind of a part one, if you want to think of it that way. So what we have found is a lot of times lately people are talking about deprivation diets or they've used deprivation diets in the past. And then you have this resurgence of people talking about starvation mode or going into fasting mode for a period of time. And what we're finding sometimes that doesn't work for everybody. And personally, it doesn't work for me because I really need to have protein first thing in the morning. And the other thing that it can do is it makes your metabolism start to decrease so that it holds on to more calories than it needs to. So you have to decide if it's something that you want to do intermittent fasting or not. So a lot of times what it does is it signals starvation mode to your body. And so it starts decreasing the calories even further to get the job done that it needs to do. So we actually sometimes can do reverse diets where we actually increase the amount of calories you're taking in so that your body doesn't feel like it's in starvation mode and it starts the metabolism up and running again. So I've talked about how to eat in the past, but every time I've always found, oh, this was a better way to say it. So I want to say it yet again. So protein. You need to have it in like the size of your palm is the best way of thinking about the size of what to have for protein. And it slowly increasing the intake of how much protein you take in, your body is less likely to store the protein than carbohydrates and fats. And so it will help rejuvenate new cells that's important for every day. A good trick is to have serve collagen or add collagen to different things like you're eating. So your morning shake, coffee, salads, soups, and that helps you get even more protein throughout the day. This was I found interesting. If you prefer to eat a plant-based diet, then you will need to consume twice the amount of protein so that your cells get what they need in nutrients. The protein in basically vegetable protein isn't easily assimilated and uses the body's energy to help digest them more than an animal protein. So I found that to be very fascinating. So for vegetables and fruits, it should be the fist size of proportion for the meal. Okay, so plants containing a wide variety of vitamins, minerals, and phosphates that are necessary to support our health and also your mitochondria. So focus mostly on vegetables and try to limit the intake of fruits to just twice a day. Things that are helpful are alpha-lipoic acid or coenzyme 10 because they support energy production and the ability for your mitochondria to renew and to multiply. And things that those two supplements are kind of included are things like spinach, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, carrots, beets, and yams. That's for alpha-lipoic acid. For CoQ10 can be found in spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, oranges, and strawberries. And so when we say, hey, eat a variety and lots of color, this is why, because we're getting all these nutrients. So the size of fat portions should be the size of your thumb. And with keto diets, you might want to address what's better for you. Keto diets are usually for people that have some immune issues that they really need to deal with. And so sometimes you can do it for a short period of time and to find if that's better for you. But we can always muscle test to find out what's best for you. So in regards to fats, the standard American fat is skewed toward fats that are in vegetable oils and seed oils, which are very high in omega-6 and omega-9. And they can lead to inflammation and damage of the mitochondria. So you want to increase your consumption of omega-3. So where do we find omega-3 fatty acids? We can find them in things like, things like avocados and olive oil, coconut oil. Oils that we shouldn't consume are things like canola, corn, soybean, sunflower, peanut, cottonseed, safflower, grapeseed, and anything that's called a vegetable oil. And I know grapeseed started becoming this great new oil, but I did learn that it was more of a seed oil and we shouldn't consume it because of that. So use saturated fats that are high for cooking. So those are things like coconut oils, butter, and lard that's organic. Extra virgin olive oil can be used for low cooking and to drizzle over foods in cooking or after cooking. One thing I found is if you're going to use olive oil for stir fry, if you add turmeric to it, it doesn't do that. It can withstand higher heat. So just kind of a little trick there. So avocado, macadamia nut, and walnut oils can be used for salad dressings and other cold uses. Omega-3s are found in salmon and avocados. And you can also consider getting an omega-3 fish oil supplement. And I do recommend that because your brain needs that omega-3 in order to function. And what I've also learned is that you need to have a very high dose of omega-3. And so I was taking 2 different kinds of omega-3. And so one was, and I'd have to look at what it was, but I could take one of those or I could take 3 of the others. And so it was profoundly more for me to take the other one. So it cost a lot more, but I was getting the benefit from it that I needed. So complex carbohydrates. This is one that always I have a hard time explaining to people. So when I found this article, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So 1 handful to 2 handfuls size portions on the day that you're active. So that means having really kind of exercise and things like that. When fat loss is the main goal and decreasing of, and if you're wanting to decrease the amount of carbs, you want to not have that. Not saying that well. So in other words, if you want to lose weight, you don't want to take in too many simple. I'll get it. See, I always flub on this. Okay. Complex carbohydrates, 1 to 2 handfuls on the days that you work out. Okay. So what you're trying to do is low carb dieting has been shown to diminish the thyroid function over time and lead to slower metabolic rate. So that's why I'm saying if you cut it out completely, it makes your body have an issue. But if you're in an inflammatory disease, you may have to do it for a period of time. Okay. Carbohydrates are fuel source to our body. To figure out how many carbs you should be eating daily, consider how much activity you get. Okay. In general, on the days that you're doing some kind of intense exercise, which can be categorized as fatigue, and so you're running or walking fast, muscle, and you're building muscle through weights, then you should include a serving of whole grains or starchy vegetables. And when we say whole grains, I'm thinking something like organic rice, organic corn, not necessarily going towards wheat and things like that. At 1 or 2 meals. On the days that you're fairly active or doing lower intensity movement like walking and don't have the needed complex carbohydrates, you're getting all that you need from your vegetables and your fruits. So simple carbohydrates, like sugar, are like white sugar and flour, and they can increase inflammation and damage your mitochondria. So examples of those are brown rice, oats, quinoa, legumes, bananas, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and the examples of healthy carbohydrates are, your fruits and vegetables. So finally, I get a way to explain what those are. So I thought that was really helpful. A couple other things to just kind of keep in mind is that there are certain drugs that damage your mitochondria, and they are things like antibiotics, aspirin and ibuprofen, and statins, because they get rid of all the CoQ10 that your body needs. So, and they also lead to dementia and Alzheimer's. So it's really important to take care of your health so that you don't have to take those drugs. So I hope that was helpful in me trying to describe that. So part 2, we're going to talk a little bit more about your metabolism. So thank you for listening. You can log on to quantumtechniques.com, learn more about your health. You can sign up for a session with me to kind of go over what kind of things you should be eating to help you every single day, and what sizes of protein, carbohydrates, and fats you should be having every day to help your body be the best it can be. So blessings from Quantum Techniques.